clarified butter when we come back. Seriously? Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Chris Kerrigan, and I do thank you for being here. Like I said in the opening, I'm going to talk about clarified butter today. What is clarified butter? Well, clarified butter is butter that has had its water and milk solids removed from it, leaving you with pure butter fat. The reason that's important is because butter in this form has a smoke point of about 350 degrees. Not very conducive to high heat cooking applications. Clarified butter, on the other hand, has a smoke point of about 480 degrees, which really gives you a lot more room for that high heat sauteing, pan frying, or the all-important searing. Give you that nice mahogany crust on that perfectly cooked steak. So what do you need to make clarified butter? Well, just a couple things. You're gonna need some butter, you're gonna need a pan, and mesh strainer, cheesecloth. If you don't have cheesecloth, you could use coffee filter, but I really think go out and invest in a little bit of cheesecloth. It's not that expensive. I'm going to use a glass measuring cup to pour that out into, and then the vessel that is going to live in for about a month. Just a little mason jar here, airtight mason jar. Nice thing about clarified butter is you can leave it out. It has a shelf life of, they say, about 30 days at room temperature. And I don't know because I do a pound of butter and I'm making another batch before that 30 days is up, but it will keep for a few months in the refrigerator, not a problem. So that's really it. Not a lot to making clarified butter. What I've got here is I've got some Land O'Lakes extra creamy European unsalted butter. I also have some Plugra premium European butter. Could use Kerrygold's another popular one. Whatever butter you're going to use, I would recommend just using unsalted. I think you get a cleaner, more consistent flavor with that. And some say that unsalted butter uses a higher grade of cream. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I read it on the internet. All right, so what are we going to do to make our clarified butter? We're just going to take the sticks out. We're not even going to cube these up. So just put 4 sticks of butter in a pan, like so. This is pretty easy. And I like tenderized butter. And the way I like to do that is just drop it from the ceiling, soften it right up for you. If you didn't catch the opening, that didn't make any sense to you. All right, 1, 2, 3, final 4. All right, we got 4 sticks of butter in there. Now my hands, grab my towel, wipe that off. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna put it on the stove. I'm gonna put it on low until it's all melted. Leave it low, melt it gently, and then we'll go from there. We'll turn the heat up and I'll show you what we're gonna do. All right. Once you've got your butter melted gently in the pan, go ahead and turn it up to about medium. And what's gonna happen pretty quickly is you're gonna start to see it bubble, and that's the water evaporating out of or boiling out of the butter. You've got that foam on top. One thing you notice that I didn't have when I showed you everything that I used to make clarified butter was a spoon or some sort of device to scrape off that foam. We're not going to do it. We're just going to let it sit and do its thing. So the next thing you'll see is that layer of foam will start to separate and those milk solids will start to float to the bottom. What we're looking for is a good bubble here, a good boil, and as that slows down, you'll know that the water has left your butter. So, all right, let's check back on that in a few minutes. Okay, now you can see that foam is kind of separating a little bit, kind of dissipating. A lot of those milk solids have floated to the bottom. At this point, you want to use a little bit of caution. You don't want all those milk solids that have sank to the bottom to burn. What will happen is you'll end up with ghee, which is not a bad thing. But your clarified butter will be more of an amber color and have a richer, nuttier flavor. So just be careful, unless you're going for that, which is completely fine. Now at this point, the boiling's starting to slow down quite a bit. You can see that that scum on the surface is mostly dissipated. And I think we're going to call that good for now. So we'll go ahead and just turn the heat off and we'll get ready to go ahead and strain that. Okay, now that we've got that off the heat, we're just going to go ahead and strain that through our mesh strainer lined with cheesecloth into a glass measuring cup. Okay, one thing we've got left, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. I'm doing a one-man show, but the milk solids that are left in the bottom of that pan. Now, had I left that on there longer, you'd see those would be brown, which you'll see you may have seen, there's a ring of brown milk solids around the very top where they're at. Like I said, if those were to become brown and we would have left that butter fat in contact with those burnt or caramelized milk fats, then you'd end up with ghee, which again is not a bad thing, has a nice nuttier flavor than clarified butter does. Clarified butter is still wonderful the way it is. It's butter. All right, so I've got that, just gonna pour it into airtight mason jar. I'll leave the lid off while it cools. And like I said earlier, I'm not going to be putting this in the fridge. It gets hard as a rock, really makes it difficult to take out. And the shelf life is fine on the counter. So there you have it. Beautiful clarified butter. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, I'd love to see that happen. And next time, you'll see clarified butter in the works, because we're probably going to do some crab cakes and some sous vide steak seared, both using clarified butter. So until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.